Hey Ummas! Welcome to the Old Umma Club. I'm Joyce.
And I'm Sophia.
We are two friends in Los Angeles who had so many great coffee chats about our love for Jesus, being Korean in biracial marriages, and having kids mid-career, mid-30s. So we decided to turn it into a podcast.
So grab a cup of coffee and join our conversations about aching backs, motherhood, marriage, Jesus, and everything in between. You ready?
하나,
둘,
셋, let's go!
Let's go. Hello, Ummas! Welcome to episode 4 of the Old Umma Club. Today, we are talking about being Korean mothers. Having Korean mothers and being Korean mothers. Mm-hmm. And everything Koreanness. I think people who watch Korean dramas have all of this like very stereotypical, exaggerated, dramatic versions of what a Korean mother is like.
And it's a whole like spectrum too, like on all the like the Korean dramas lately. I've been like, oh, there's quite a wide spectrum of mothers lately.
Yeah, are you a poor mother or are you a privileged mother or are you like one of those 재벌 mothers? Yeah, or are you a mother-in-law? Dum dum dum.
Dun dun dun.
Oh my lord. Yeah, but Joyce and I, if you haven't figured that out already, we are Korean.
Oh, yes, we are Korean. That's why we are the Umma Club.
Right. And we both grew up with Ummas. Both of us have taught our children to call us Ummas. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's one of the pretty Korean thing about us. But yeah, let's talk about what was the most Korean thing about your mother?
The most Korean thing about my mom is this was probably more of like a value system, but like the entitlement she feels upon my life.
You know what I mean? The no boundary thing?
Yes, the no boundary. I am, and the tagline is, I'm your Umma. So I can do it.
Oh, that's all that needs to be said. Yeah. I'm your Umma.
I'm your Umma. You're lucky that I'm even like this. Do you even know what other Ummas are like? Other Ummas are worse than me. She's like, you're lucky that I am the Umma that I am. And I'm like, no. Boundaries are healthy. This is not good. I don't want to talk about this with you.
There is no Korean word for boundary.
No.
There isn't.
What's the word they use for like...
선 넘지 마. But that's also like kind of a new Western kind of concept. Yeah.
DMZ.
That's
I was like, what's the word for that? It's like, that we need.
You're talking about DMZ.
I was like, we need a militaristic territorial boundary line. Okay, if that's what we need to use. But yeah, that is like I think the most Korean, because everything else about my mom is like atypical because she was single Korean mom working, and so like everything about her is atypical in that sense. But for sure, the most Korean thing is just no boundaries, the entitlement. I know better, which is fair. She's my Umma, but also I am now almost 40. Like there is a point where you can step back and she does need to step back a little bit.
Yeah, I think my mother kind of lacks the boundaries too. And it's become even more apparent now that I am a mother and she will make a lot of suggestions and unsolicited advice on how to raise my own kids. Text me, message me, like I would send her a picture and she'd be alarmed by something, so she would call me to tell me not to do this or that. Yeah,
my mom says "we" to everything. Does your mom do that? I'm like, Tyler's going to work, and he's like, oh, Tyler has to go to New Jersey for "we."
That tone, the tone. Yeah.
왜? I'm like, I don't know. He has work. 키는 sick. 키는 감기 또 걸렸어. 왜? 엄마, if I knew, he wouldn't be sick so much, okay? Everything. 왜? I'm like,
that is a very Korean thing, like with just one word.
Just
one word dripping with disapproval and judgment. And just that tone.
Yeah, it's the tone. I'm like, it's not, 왜 그래? It's 왜? I'm like, Why is that your first word to everything I say about my life? Like, am I really failing that badly? So yeah, does your mom do that? My mom.
My mother actually does not do that.
Oh, yeah. What a gift! Because it's like I've like flipped out on my mom. So I'm like, stop saying that. And she's like, okay, where? And I'm like,
all right. Another Korean thing about mother, the Korean ajumma poems.
Oh yeah,
we talked about this, but
yes.
Oh, like, this is a thing. Like, the moment you turn about 50, or maybe even younger than that, you go to the hairdresser and you say, I want to ajumma perm. And it's just like this really short, kind of like
tight curls.
Very tight, like super 90s or 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're a little bit more stylish, you give it a little bit of a dye, a little bit of a highlight, but still that ajumma tight curl with the barrettes.
My mom never had that, I would say.
Because she was a hairdresser.
Because she was a hairdresser.
She was up to the trend.
She had to kind of maintain like a little bit of 멋쟁이. And so she was older. So she had to like compete against the younger salon. So this is where it was atypical. My mom, I swear, was so yahe. Like in elementary school, she would come pick me up and she's wearing a bodysuit. I guess her with sheer pants.
Oh my gosh, I love her confidence.
And then like black like platform, and my mom's like, do you know how good I look? And I was like, do you have to wear that to pick me up from like elementary school? Like, I don't want, as a sixth grader, I don't want to stand out with the mom that has that outfit for school pickup. And I'm like dying. I'm like, Umma. Or like, you know, and people are like,
no 멋쟁이에요.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
You know what? Then maybe some of the other students were like, wow, your mother is so cool.
I don't know. But yeah, so my mom didn't do the perm. She gave me perms. I had a lot of perms growing up. Did you ever get perms growing up?
I did when I was much younger. But Joyce, you have to send me those pictures of you in a perm. Cannot imagine it.
I had long.
Did you have the pigtails with the perms? With the little bobble hair ties?
No, she has that in pigtails, but no perm for that one.
Okay.
Just pigtails. But I had like long hair and perm and pama. Like Jerry curl, kind of like pama going all the way through that. But yeah, I think, what do you feel like was like the other most Korean thing about your mom? She had the perm. Oh, she instilled in me a deathly fear of the sun. Which exists to this day, and it drives that is true. You hate
David
the sun.
Crazy, and it embarrasses him, because when we go out for a walk in broad daylight, I will wear this, you know, the UV hat that has the wide brim, and then I put an extra cloth over my head because, you know, sunlight still gets in from the side.
I mean, your skin is pristine though. Your skin has no wrinkle.
No, it does have wrinkles. You just haven't seen it.
No, it has laugh line. Those are like normal. It doesn't have a sag. Mine sags. Yours does not have a sag. It's like tight.
But it was never about the wrinkles for me. When I was growing up, it was really about, 피부 다 탄다.
No, that's true.
야, 햇빛 너무 세. 피부 다 탄다. 저기 햇빛. The sun. Like, you're gonna get a tan. Like, as though that's like you're gonna get rabies.
My mom, she didn't put that in me, but she always tried to put sunblock on me. I think she recognized like I'm in elementary school. There's just like no way to stop it. But she also used it as a way to like blame my father. She's like, 아빠 피부 때문에 너 이렇게 이런 색깔이야. I'm like, wow. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, the colorism is so real.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's like now, but when I was growing up, it was so real, because I did this with my Korean friends. And I don't think my parents overtly taught me that darker skin is bad. Mm-hmm. But my friends and I would compare skin tones and be like, who's lighter? And it's so bad. This is something that it was just like, who's lighter? Oh, I'm prettier. Because I have a lighter skin. You went out to the sun. You came back with a suntan. And now, like, you know, you're darker than me. That was a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, beauty standards were very clear cut.
Yes.
Light skin is beautiful. And then one of the biggest compliments that Korean mothers could give you is, 피부 왜 이렇게 뽀얗네? Well, oh, your skin is so fair.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate compliment, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think my mom, she had accepted the fact, because my brothers are brown. They're like dark too. They just tan.
Just naturally brown or
all three of us naturally just have a brown undertone.
Me too.
Yeah. And so it's like we can just be out in the sun in 5 minutes and we'll just come back like 5 shades darker. So my mom, I think she's already just by that time accepted like my kids are going to be darker skin, but she would still make us wear sunblock and she'll make me wear sunblock. But my mom, the beauty standard thing for sure is real, except hers was like more divisive. I would say, but it was like, I just remember vividly in elementary school, my mom and her friends would circle me and they would like pinch my face in different ways.
The nose
and the eyes. And they're like, oh, my mom's like, her friends would be like, oh, your like daughter's so pretty. And my mom was like, yeah, but I think if we just got her nose up just a little bit, she's like pinching the bridge of my nose. She's like, if it looks just like, and her friends are like, oh, yeah. And they would all talk about when they were going to schedule my nose job.
Oh, my Lord.
Which I never got because I was like by that time I was so sick of it. When I was in high school, my mom's like, let's get your nose done before you go to college. And I was like, I'm so done with this. No. And then they would talk about my eyes and like just talk they would pinch and poke my face.
The hyper focus on appearance.
Yes.
I mean, I think every woman cares about the appearance, and it's a societal thing, right? Appearance is the first thing you see, so it's not like it's only a Korean thing, but it's the blatant spoken comparisons of appearance
and the normalcy of getting facial work done. You know what I mean? Like I remember in junior high, all the girls getting like 쌍꺼풀, and it was like a normal thing. Like I'm like, it's still plastic surgery. Where I was like, we're just 13 years old. Why is everyone planning and like everyone judging the level of how good they're like
the 쌍꺼풀 is?
Yeah, and like all that stuff. And like
쌍꺼풀 is double eyelid. Yeah.
Like getting the double eyelid, like the double eyelid tape was a huge thing growing up. Yes. I don't know if that's still a thing now, but I think people just get surgery now. They don't do the tape. They just get surgery done now. But it's just like,
but at least, okay, so even if your mother was like, oh no, her nose is too flat, I bet she was like, 그런데 Joyce 얼굴은 주먹만 해.
No, she never said that.
This is also a very Korean thing.
How small her face was. She's like, 엄마는 얼굴은 이따만 했어.
Yeah, Koreans have a fixation with small faces. The smaller, the better. Yeah. And the second ultimate compliment is if your face is as small as my fist.
Yeah, I don't think she ever said that about my face. She just talked about what I needed to change. And then she's like, then you'll be good. And I was like, only then, Mom. Only then, after getting my face completely redone, will I then be good. So glad. I'm so glad that's all I have to do.
All right. Another Korean thing about my mother is the food. I don't know if this was like for your mother, but food was her way of showing love.
Yes. 100%.
It wasn't until a little later where she was a little bit more overtly talking about I love you, or like the tongue was more verbal. But her biggest way of showing tongue, which is affection in Korean, was food. And even till now, the moment she arrives at my house, the first thing she does is go to Hanarum H Mart, and then she comes back with like 5 loads of groceries, and completely stuffs my fridge full of food. And then all day long, she's puttering around the kitchen making miyeokguk and like, you know, all of this like soups for me and chicken soup and all of that. And it's just her most favorite way and most tender way of showing love to me is by feeding me.
Yes. Yeah. My mom does that too. Like food. I agree. I totally understand that. Because even now for me, like as I've become a mother, like there's something so satisfying about seeing my children eat well.
Oh,
and
yes.
Like eating something that you made with like excitement. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh, like, that's the sound I like, is hearing like crunching and slurping and like silence because their mouths are full, you know? And so my mom does the same thing. When she comes over, it's like she'll like try to like bring all this pantan and all this like kwal and like, you know, whatever soup that she knows is safe. And I think that's been hard for her because like with Kian's food allergies, I've had to like narrow it down more and more. So she's always like, what can I bring? And I'm like, don't bring anything. And I could tell she's stressed out. She's like, don't bring anything.
But how else can I show you love?
Yeah. I'm like, just come over. You can just show love by being present. Yeah. But yeah, for sure the food. The food is definitely, that's been like, if I look through my childhood, that's always been a constant thing. The provision of food. The
pantans,
the obsession with food. Are you eating? How much food did you eat? Is it good food? Make sure you're eating this. Like constant, constant oversight on that. That totally makes sense. What is the one thing, or there's something about the Korean mother way that you feel like you don't want to carry on?
That I don't want to carry on.
Yeah.
Definitely the fixation on the appearance.
Yes.
Because I still deal with a lot of insecurities about my appearance. And I wouldn't blame my parents completely for that. I think it's just a value system that I somehow latched on. Because my cousin grew up with us for like 12 years and she doesn't have that. And she grew up with the same
family.
Family. But somehow for me, being beautiful and meeting this beauty standards became a high value thing for me. When I realized I was going to have a daughter, that was the first thing that popped into my head. I don't ever want to be like constantly complimenting her on how beautiful she is, or how her skin looks like, or how her hair looks like, or this dress is so pretty. Some compliments are great, it's healthy and good, but I don't want that to be
the only compliments.
Yes, the only, and like unintentionally make her feel like, oh, being beautiful is the greatest thing. Yeah. And also not criticizing my child on the appearance period. And even to this day, I think my mother's little comments that she drops without even thinking affects me so much. And then David has to tell me, oh, you can't let what your mother said get to you. Because I will have these periods of where David would call it, I feel ugly days. And it's usually sparked by a comment from my mother. Of like one time, she called me and she's like, 소연아, like, 너 살 좀 빼야 되겠다. 좀 팔뚝이 좀 굽네. Yeah, she's basically like, you need to lose a little weight because I think your arms are getting a little fat. And then from then on, I could not look at the mirror without looking at my fat arms.
Yes.
But she's not being cruel or mean, but I think it's so ingrained in her that it's okay to comment on my daughter's appearance.
Yes. And that she has the right to do it.
Yes, because one of the things that my mother would always say was like, who's going to tell you this except your Umma?
Right.
Only your Umma is going to be brutally honest about your flaws. So let me help improve you, because your friends are not going to say that. But I think there are ways to do that in a healthy, constructive way, but criticizing the appearance that I can't really change, and also creating this arbitrary, unbiblical standards of beauty for my children, that's a curse I want to break. But sadly enough, I think I do myself need to go through a lot of healing. Because one time I was looking in the mirror and I was like, oh, my stomach's a little like protruding. Like everything gets a little saggier after you have 2 kids. And I was kind of like body checking. And the Uri was right there. And I was like, oh no. I woke up and I was like, she is still young when she has no idea what I'm doing.
But she's watching.
But then she's still watching.
Yeah.
Like unconsciously, she's getting an impression from me. And when she turns 2, when she turns 3, I'm still going to think, oh, she's too young to know that I'm body checking and feeling insecure. But there's something spiritual in there that she will be absorbing that I really do not want to pass on to my kids, especially my daughter.
Yes. I can understand that and relate to that completely. Like I feel the same with the boys. Like even though I have boys, what I really care about is their perception of a woman. And I don't want them to think like as me, as mom, as their like first encounter of a woman that they're going to love and like have this kind of almost like subconscious standard. I don't want them to think it's okay for women to talk bad about themselves, to hyper concentrate on their appearance, that they need to exercise and diet so that they can be thin. Those are all things that I don't want my boys to see as an important or expected value in a woman. And that I want them to see a woman who is going to embody and love every bit of themselves. And it's hard because I too, like, because of what I grew up with, like my mom constantly evaluating, therefore I constantly evaluate and check myself. And I have to like really step back. And if I do it, I always make sure to check or talk about my body when it's just Tyler and me and that we don't have the boys around, because I don't want them to think that it's normal for women to talk bad about themselves. I make it a point that when I exercise, that I want my boys to see, like, it is good and normal for a woman to lift heavy weights, for a woman to exercise hard. And it's funny because Tyler actually doesn't actually like work out like that. He likes cardio and yoga and riding a bicycle. Like, that's his thing. Lifting weights, he didn't do that until I started dating him. And so I want for them to see, like, oh, yeah, lifting weights, no problem. Like, shouldn't you be doing that? My mom does that all the time. She's been doing that, you know. So that's been important to me. And I've had to like check my mother-in-law because she talks about her weight and her body in front of the boys often. And I've had to check my mom because my mom makes comments about people's appearances. And it's uncomfortable, but it's such a high value for me too, that I'll say, like, if my mother-in-law mentions something about her body, then I'm like, yeah, but I get that, Gigi, but also, aren't we so beautiful the way we are? And she's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah. Or my mom will say something, but she'll say something about someone's appearance and I'll just say, nope, we're not going to talk about that. Let's talk about something else. And she'll be so caught off guard. But I'm like, I don't want you to think it's okay and normal to talk about that in front of the boys. I don't want that to be a normal thing for them to think it's normal for women to do that. And they themselves might think about it too, because they're still going to harbor, like, was that normal? Should I do that to myself too? So that's been like for sure something on my mind that I've been working on. I told Tyler too, I was like, you also need to talk with your mom about how that's like a very important value for me and that we need to like not do that. But I also have to check myself to start that conversation too. So it's on both ends. Yeah. I think for me, like another thing that I don't want to carry on is having the no boundaries. Like for me,
that is tough.
No boundaries. Yeah. Like I think for me is more about emotional boundary that needs to be checked for me. Because I think I don't know if like in my Korean culture experience, my mom has always felt like she can say whatever she wants about her feelings, even if they are not appropriate to be said in front of your own child. And when I would tell her, I'm like, that doesn't make me feel good. Like, please don't tell me that. She's like, I'm your mom. I'm allowed to say whatever I want to say. And like kind of that thing. And I'll think about, I'm like, no, that is not okay. And it created this weird boundaryless thing between us, right? Kind of manipulative in certain ways sometimes, but and unintentional. I think it's just her from what she grew up with. And so she's like, I did the same thing. My mom did the same thing to me. And I understand. And obviously it's a little bit more Western and more like Americanized in the current parenting culture. But I think for me, having just a little bit more boundaries of like, I am my own person. You are your own person. Yeah. My feelings are my feelings. And I've noticed Kian like sometimes taking on my feelings. And I feel so bad because I'll like get so mad about something with him. And I'll see like, he'll look at me. He's like, I'm sorry, Umma. I'm sorry. It's okay. I'm sorry. That was an accident. And he's doing that just to make me feel better. And I'm like, no. That's not your job. Your job is not to make me feel better. I don't want you to ever feel that. And I'm sorry if that's what you feel. I don't want you to feel like it's your job to make me feel better. Yeah. It's not. And so I think for me, that's been very important of like making sure like we have certain things that are boundaried that are important. Yep. And to recognize like, and for me to also recognize like at a certain point, he is going to have to be an independent person. And I can't come in and be like, just feeling like I could say whatever I want to say, even when he gets married, just saying whatever I want to say, doing whatever I want to do, because that's not okay either.
Yeah. Passing on your emotional burdens on your children. Yeah.
And also just crossing certain lines. My mom has crossed certain lines and her sisters have okayed it. And I was just like, all of you in this family. I was like, and all the cousins and all were like, what is happening? We're all like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do that. If I'm going to do something, it's going to be between me, where it's a conversation. So yeah, I think that's also something. It's just like, I don't want to carry on the privilege, I guess, of saying like, I'm your mom.
Yeah.
I birthed you. Therefore, I have the right to have my foot in your life all throughout your life. And it's like, no, at a certain point, I also have to respect that, especially when you get married, we are cleaved. Biblically, we are cleaved.
Yeah.
So I need to respect that. I need to respect the fact that we are cleaved and we are no longer joined in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. This is not even just about being Western. It's just what's biblical and wise.
Yeah. So I think that's been something that I've been like really intentional about and trying to break that. Also the Korean rage. Like, I'm trying my best not to pass that Korean rage on, but it's been hard.
You know, my mother is so gentle that she's never really had much of a Korean rage.
Yeah.
My Korean rage is 100% my own sin, but also my dad. My appa has that rage.
Yeah. My mom has like some rage. Actually, growing up though, I never really saw it because she worked so much, but my brothers had the rage. And I think they got it from my dad. And so I inherited it from my brothers. And I'm just like, and also just like my own lack of control and bad, my own humanness too. So I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want my children to be dysregulated.
Yeah.
I want them to know how to regulate themselves. Lay on the ground, everyone.
I mean, this is the Korean rage thing. I think it's a topic of itself. We're definitely going to have an episode just on Korean rage. Yeah, because it deserves its own episode. Yeah.
What's one thing that you feel like you want to carry on though with like Koreanness?
One thing I really appreciate my mother doing is every Saturday when we were young, she would do Hangul Hagyo. So we didn't go to a formal Hangul Hagyo, but she would sit us down and she would teach us Kana Dara, and she would teach us Korean.
Yeah.
I would never have been able to learn to read or write Korean if not for her. And when I think back to it, I'm like, wow, that was quite the sacrifice and devotion from her. Because Saturdays are precious for mothers, right? Especially with kids. Like, you kind of just want to take the easy way route because you're really busy the whole weekday. And so on the weekends, you just want to rest. But my mother took 2-3 hours of a time to teach us Korean. And I to this day really, really appreciate that. I'm so thankful. But at that time though, when I was young, I did not appreciate it. I would complain. I want to play. I want to go out and play. I want to read. But why do I have to sit down here and learn Koreans? But she really created a curriculum and she did it. And that's something that I don't know how much I'll be able to teach Korean to my own kids because my Korean isn't that great.
Your Korean is much better than mine. My Korean is pretty awful.
It's still, I don't know. I mean, it's not good. So I might have to send them to an actual Korean school. But that's one of the things that is important to me now, that my kids, at least when they go to Korea, they can kind of converse at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing for me is that they can communicate with my parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's been hard, I think, especially watching my mom and Kian lately, because English is his dominant language. And my mom and Kian used to be like...
they used to be tight.
So tight. Like thick as thieves. And now when she comes over, he tries so hard to play with her and interact with her, but she just doesn't know how to connect in that way. And it breaks my heart because of all the grandkids, she's the closest with mine. And she tries so hard to connect with them. But like now that the language component is being a thing... And thankfully, Tyler values that too. So he's like trying to, whatever tiny little bit of Korean words he can say, like he does. Or when we were at my mom's house the other day, he was asking like, oh, like, how do you ask for like more watermelon? I'm like, oh, 수박 더 주세요. And he's like, okay, Kian, let's practice that. And then we like had him walk to my mom and like, which it was so cute because she like giggled because she thought it was so fun. Like that he's like,
Yeah.
"Shubak 두대요."
Yeah, Tove does that too.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, it's so cute. At least they're trying."
Yeah, I do really love that Tyler makes so much of an effort to learn Korean.
Yeah,
David has
that.
tried. He's not very good with foreign languages.
Oh man, he knows 아빠.
Oh yeah, 아빠.
And Umma. He knows that. He knows 우리.
Yeah. Another thing is, I don't know how important it was for you, but it was very important for me that Tove and Uri will call me Umma.
Yes.
I didn't really care if they call David dad or 아빠. But for me, that term Umma encapsulates all the emotions I feel about my mother. Like mom, mommy, mama, mother just does not capture that tongue, that feeling of like that warmth, that tenderness, that nurturing, just like that feeling of like protection and safety. Like 엄마, that word, probably because I grew up calling my mother Umma, and just the sound of it just brings these feelings for me. So I felt that I would be a little heartbroken if Tove started calling me mommy.
Kian went through a phase of calling me mama for a while, and it was like nails on a chalkboard for me. I was like, and Tyler would always try to correct him. He's like, who, and like, or like he would call Tyler like daddy, and he's like, who's daddy? He's like, I'm appa, right? And so we would correct it, but then like it was still, I was like, you know, they went through the phase, and now he's back to Umma, and I was like, oh, thank God. I've actually been a little bit more stringent on him, like being able to speak or calling all of my brothers and like the family members by their proper Korean title.
You know what? This is the hard thing about Korean though. It's like 삼촌 or 큰아빠, 작은아빠.
Yeah.
There's all these like different titles. It's not just one uncle.
Yeah, but I only do it on our family, and I do it because it's like Korean. I was like, in his mind, he'll know. Like it's like there's only one like 큰 삼촌. There's only one like 작은 삼촌. There's only one 고모, which Tyler like he calls Tyler's sister 고모 and 고모부. I also asked her if it was okay because I was like, there's gonna be a ton of aunties in his life. I was like, but there's only gonna be one 고모.
Yeah.
And like that was very special for me, for my niece and nephews to call me 고모. And my brothers were strict about that too, because they're like, yeah, there's gonna be like a ton of emos in their life, but there's only one 고모. But yeah, I think it was like that, and also just making it regular for them to like just have Korean titles in their name. But yeah, the Korean language, trying to maintain that, I think more for the sake of being able to speak with my mom and like my dad is really the only real lifeline. Also, it's also a good skill to have another language in your back pocket, even if it's just purely conversational.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that has probably been important, and I think the value of family has been very important for me too. Because our family, especially our family, it's not as tight as it used to be, but we're very tight knit. And so, like, we all know if you're going to do a family event on my side of the family, it's everybody. It's not just the immediate family, right? Like in Western culture, when we say family, it's like just your immediate family. Like it's like everyone and the in-laws. I was like, the in-laws of like the parents of my sister-in-laws are all invited. That's
this is very Korean.
Family, right? Like that is very important for me. It's like my boys to like understand the value of family and staying connected to your family.
And not just the nuclear family, but the extended family as well.
Family. Like this is your family. And that has been something that I've been like, because Tyler's has a huge family, but they're all kind of disjointed. And for me, like, so it's important for me. I'm like, our family is a family. Like that should be important. So, yeah.
Yeah, another thing I would love to pass down, we had just talked about the self-sacrifice of Korean mothers. I think that is the number one thing I would say about my mother. She was very much of a very self-sacrificial Umma. When I look back, I was like, she was tired. Like, even as a child, I could sense that she was tired. She was constantly tired because she took care of 2 kids, and my brother and I are only 18 months apart. And she was a missionary's wife, and my father was gone a lot. and she was in a foreign country taking care of 2 very young kids by herself, not knowing the language, very different climate, very different food. And I've never really once heard her complain. Yeah. She just did her duty. And there was no entitlement there. There was no self-indulgence there. There was no self-pitying there. It was just, this is my duty and I do it. And there is something very honorable about that. I know in this today's world, we kind of uplift. I mean, we love complaining. We love honesty, transparency. We do love to complain. We bonded about that through complaining.
Yes.
But there's also, I do really respect and admire that side of my mother where she did things without complaining. And it wasn't like a self-shaming thing or like a self-censoring thing. It was just more like, yeah, this is my duty.
Yeah. I love that.
Another thing is food. Food definitely is my way of also showing love to my kids. Not the only way, but one of the biggest way.
You are a big cooker.
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 I'm a cooker.
You're a cooker.
Yeah.
Baker, cooker.
But
I love it.
The flip side is that my mom rage comes out when I made this delicious food and Tove just refuses to even taste it. Have to literally shove it into his mouth. It's like, 맛있어! I told you! 맛있다고! 한번 먹어봐, 이 자식아! And then it's like, oh, the whole point of me showing love through my food has been defeated.
Like, I'll show you love. Okay, I'll show you love. You will feel this love with the 숟가락 in your mouth. 빨리 먹어. Oh my gosh. I know. I've been wanting to desire to cook more Korean food, but it's hard. One, like where we live, we're nowhere near a Korean market. It's like we have to go to K-Town or we have to go all the way to Torrance. And it's just like, I'm like, South Bay. I'm like, this is a very far drive. I'm like, oh. And even then, I'm like, where do I start? Because my mom like has always just cooked the food and brought it. And whenever I ask her, it's like classic Korean mom or classic any mom that cooks. Like they're like, oh, you just put it in the water and you boil it. I'm like, the hell? What do you mean? And the milk just happens? I was like, that makes no sense. She's like, 조금 그냥 담그 다음에 1시간 좀 기다려 다음에 그 다음에 then you just boil it. And I'm like,
그래 이거 조금 저거 조금 대충. Okay.
She's like, and then just taste it. And I was like, what? How do I even?
But that is how she cooks.
Yeah, and I'm like, I've watched her. Like we've tried making banchan together, and she's like, you just do a little bit of salt, and then she like puts a pinch of salt in, and she still had like a teaspoon left in her hand. She's like, and then she just dumped it in. And I was like, what? That made no sense. She didn't want to throw it out, so she was like, I'll just put the rest of the salt in. And I was like, that's not what you just told me. I don't know what to do with this kimchi now. I was like,
well, what are some of the foods that's most nostalgic for you that you want to pass on to your kids?
It's miyeokguk.
Miyeokguk? Okay.
Miyeokguk is like super nostalgic for me for some reason.
Do you cook miyeokguk for their birthdays?
Yes. And like tteokguk obviously. But like my mom also, it's the like tteokguk.
Oh.
Like 곰탕 and stuff.
곰탕 is my favorite.
Yeah. All of that kind of stuff is like super, but all of that is nostalgic. But honestly for me, the most things that are nostalgic is all of her banchan.
What kind of banchan?
She just makes a ton of different kind of kimchi, like the oi kimchi,
I
and the
love
pa kimchi, and then like
I love 깻잎 kimchi.
Yeah, 깻잎 kimchi, and then like I remember one time I was like, "Ma, is this like there's this like have like 생선 in it?" And she's like, "Yeah, but it's fine. Don't tell Tyler." And I was like,
"Tyler's allergic to any kind of fish." Yeah.
And I was like, "Umma," she's like, "It's dried. It's dried anchovies. There's nothing happening there." And I was like, oh my.
It's vegan. Yeah. It's just anchovies.
She's like, it's dehydrated. She's like, there's no protein happening. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with you. But, and then she makes like, I forget what it's called in Korean, but like the burdock root.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it called again?
The brown. I thought it was lotus for the longest time, but it's burdock.
What? No.
That thing.
This is gonna drive me crazy. We'll look it up after.
But yeah, so like all of her banchan, I think is like the super nostalgic thing, and thankfully Taig loves it.
Oh, good.
Like Taig will like try to like drink all like the kimchi juice and all that stuff. Kian is a little bit more like, this is stinky and I'm not about it. But
how often do you cook Korean food at home?
Never.
I rarely do it too.
I have cookbooks, but I just never do it. It's also like, it's Korean. I think part of it is it's so foreign to me because I've never done it. So it's like even more like, I made like goriguk and stuff like that, but it's like, that's not very hard. You just boil for a very long time.
Yeah. But usually the most Korean food Tove gets is when my mother's here. And I so appreciate that about her. But you know what's so sad? I hate to miyeokguk.
You hate miyeokguk?
So like when, in Koreans on birthdays, that's the tradition that you make miyeokguk because during postpartum days for a woman, she's fed a lot of miyeokguk because it's supposed to be very nutritious and healing during postpartum. So like, to commemorate your Umma, you drink miyeokguk for your birthdays. And my mother will make miyeokguk for my birthday and I'll get so mad. And I was like, this is my birthday. Why are you giving me miyeokguk? Like, I hate this. Like, I would rather it not be my birthday. And then eventually she stopped giving me miyeokguk.
Yeah.
But funny enough, Tove loves miyeokguk.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. So I need to start cooking that because
just like finding the right milk is really hard to find.
And then you have to like 볶아 it, like just the right.
And like the soaking process, and like you might get like a bad bunch, and it like disintegrates too. And so,
but like, I think this is why Korean ummas put food is their display of love because there's so much labor that goes into making Korean food. Yeah, it's not like a stir fry, right? It's like you have to chop up the radishes like matchsticks, and then you have to like. What do you call it? You have to brine it, and then there's just so much 손짓.
It's also and it's like multi-day processes. It's not just like a one-day process. Yeah.
One thing I do want to do is like I do want to learn to make kimchi.
Yeah, I made kimchi with my mom once. I was like, I can't do this.
It is a long process. Yeah, it is a lot of work.
It's hot,
but still, I think it's worth just learning it.
You have to get
to
kimchi
just know. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you have to get a separate fridge for that.
Kimchi is a cool thing to like learn to make too. I think for sure.
And I think we're at an age where kids don't. I don't know. Maybe kids are not made fun of when they bring Korean food to school anymore. It's like cool now. Yeah. Korean food is cool. When did this happen?
That would have been helpful in elementary school when I was getting like teased from other people. I'm like, and I went to a Korean dominant elementary school and I still got teased by other people. So
they're like, where is your PB&J?
Yeah, and I'm like, because I have kimbap and it tastes better.
Oh, kimbap's so much better.
Oh, kimbap is so much better. But yes, that is definitely something that would be learning to make banchan in general will be, I think, also cost efficient.
We should do this together sometime.
Yeah, we should do it. We'll do it as one of our get-together times.
Anything else?
No, I think this is a great place where we can kind of close out and do our prayer.
Yeah.
If you want to close us out, Sophia.
Sure. All right. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for our ummas. Thank you for making them Korean and blessing us with this Korean culture and this heritage, Lord. We want to be thankful for how you've created us. And we want to thank you for the mothers that you've given us, that you've chosen to give us, Lord. That you put us in their wombs for a reason. And they were the perfect ummas for us, even with all their flaws, Lord. And Lord, I just pray for a lot of wisdom and discernment as we raise our own kids as Korean ummas. Let us do this all with so much thankfulness, Lord, a lot of thankfulness and joy. We bless you and we praise you, Lord. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much for listening. If you've been liking our episodes, please follow, like, subscribe, or leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. We'd love to connect with you and hear your thoughts and feedback. You can find us on Instagram at The Old Umma Club or reach out to us at theoldummaclub@gmail.com. Gotta give a big thank you to Kevin MacLeod for our music. Until next time, Ummas, may the Lord bless you and keep you sane, hydrated and fulfilled the way only he can.